Before we go over today's absurd content, we need to have a level setting discussion just to make sure that we are all on the same page. All right. Now, this discussion is around the term YN. All right. It's an acronym. If you're living under a rock, you may not have ever heard of it. The acronym stands for Young Negro or Young Ninja. OK, typically YNs, they're a very obnoxious group. All right. Typically, they are African-American, black, if you will, post-puberty, all the way to, let's say, manhood, let's say adulthood. They like to wear ski masks, balaclavas. They typically wear backpacks because they recently stole some shit. Ain't no books in them. We all know that. Sometimes they have weapons on them. They are skinny as shit for some reason. I've never seen an overweight YN. I don't know why that is. But nevertheless, they're a subset of a group that is known for causing trouble, right? So forth and so on. You guys all have the picture in your mind right now. Anyway, there was a question that I've just always asked myself, even though the term now just got popularized, but the function of a YN has been around for a few decades now. But I would ask myself, where do they come from? Where is the YN birthed, if you will, again? Well, I think I have a damn answer. Now, in the black community, there is currently a 50% single mother rate, way higher than any other race, might I add. Now, within the content here today of speaking about the creation of YNs, I ain't coming at all single mothers. I'm just coming at the most unaccountable of you, because the woman that we're gonna go over here today is a prime example of where the hell these YNs come from. These women, through their emotional incest, will create not only the YN, but then also they are creating the same type of man that they hate. This one's gonna get deep. So let's get active. Now, I got this content directly from the mother's TikTok. So she recorded this and she thought it was cute enough to post. Let's get after it.
Kissy? Go down the window. Yeah, hit him with the papa. Yeah. Pow, 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 pow. Mom, go, mom, go. Pow, 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 pow. Pow, 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 pow.
What? What?
You wanna go outside?
And just like that, another YN, two YNs get their damn wings. Now, before I get exceptionally active, because I want to review the video again, I wanted to at first go over the young lady's image. And I'm going to go over her digital presence, which is the icing on all of the cake. But of course, the 3-inch nails coming up from the tips of her fingers, wig so damn tight that it's pulling her eyebrows up into her skull, and of course the glue into the baby hair that actually is touching the damn eyebrows. I've told you guys before, when I see women that have this type of image, I will walk across the street for them. If I'm at an evening establishment and there's more of hers there than not, I exit, for that place has nothing for me. Nevertheless, let's replay this again so I can give an active commentary now that you've seen it. So, the woman is also on her phone texting. Like, as this is happening. Now, the mama doesn't have a seatbelt on. The young boy in the front has a seatbelt on, but it's incorrect. And then the young one in the back doesn't have a seatbelt on. Oh, she's got a face piercing too. But the young one in the back doesn't have a seatbelt on as well, which is already wild. All right. So now he starts doing the YN bop bop out the window. Let's watch the expression on her face. Whoa. And then he passes the ratchet to the back seat because, you know, what if a camera caught the YN? All right. He's already learning how to do this shit. Now, to me, the look that you see on her face is almost like a turned on, which is actually pretty pathetic to see. She sees the image that's been presented to her as masculine being represented in her young boy, and she's almost excited to see it, ergo pointing to this emotional incest that I talked to you guys about a little bit earlier.
A lot of mums fancy their sons, and I mean fancy their sons, and they don't know it. But I completely understand loving your son, like you should be loving your son. But I feel like in the cases where like you're dating a man and his mum just hates you for no reason, and the mum just hates every girl that comes into their house, I feel like there's some sort of emotional incest going on there, because I'm so sorry, you should not be using your son to replace the emotional connection that you want to have with a man, or you have had with a man who left you. I feel like you need to always remember that your son is your son, not your boyfriend, not your husband. It's all fun and games when people are saying little things like, oh, my first love, my this and that, until you get older and your mother is actively in the way of your romantic relationships. Like, she's actually getting in the way of you having a happy future, because she hates everyone you date. She has a problem with everyone you date. She wants to be the first woman in your life when you're married. I just don't understand why you're supposed to let your son get married to somebody and start their own family. You will always be their mum. You cannot be replaced as their mum, but you are not their wife. And when they start their own family, they have other priorities. The same way that your husband or your boyfriend had you as his priority when you guys started dating, when you guys had a baby, the same way your son is supposed to have his own priorities with his family when he starts his family. This whole emotional incest thing is just being swept under the rug, and people are not seeing that people actively fancy their sons.
So the son husband in the front passes the ratchet to the son husband in the back. Let's finish up.
What?
You wanna go outside?
As the boy in the back points at the camera and lets off 3 more shots. Like, this whole situation is absolutely absurd, and to watch her smile throughout all of this, and also to watch her reaction. We're gonna go through her reaction as well. Also, there's an aside to this from my own perspective. I clearly remember that the actions my dad would take to get me to remember as a young boy to put on my seatbelt each and every time. They made it into like a little bit of a game, right? They would put me into the seat, and the game was he would run around the car and I had to put my seatbelt in before he opened the door, and they would run this game with me every single time so that it became instinctual for me to always have a seatbelt on. Ergo, the ingenuity of an active parent that is trying to put their child in the best position or a low risk position to their lives going into the future. Nevertheless, when I first saw this, I said to myself, oh, I know these comments are going to be good. So let's go down up in there and continue the discussion. CIA agents doing backflips of joy. Yeah, mission accomplished. The next comment, actually, let me zoom in so you guys can see this. It says, Yahweh viene de fabrica. That essentially means they come from the factory like that, like they're born like that, which is absolutely not true. They're just in that environment and they don't know no better. And their mama damn sure ain't gonna correct them because she had a lady boner over there watching that. Go, mom, go, as the laughing emojis of another queen. Muscle memory. Let's see if there's any others. Y'all talking about texting and driving, but he just did a drive-by. Looks like the TikTok hit like the Spanish side of the internet. There's a lot of stuff in Spanish. It's you looking confused as to why he started a random drive-by for me. Again, these women think that this shit is cute, you know, more than likely not having a father themselves. Didn't correct him and tell him why that's not something he should be doing. Of course, that came from a man. Now y'all know I had to go to the IG profile just to learn a wee bit more about this lovely young lady. 70,000 followers. Oh, there it is. $25 deposit required with a Cashapp up in there, a PayPal up in there. Let's continue to go down. And of course, as one would think, sexuality like a badge of honor, showing every morsel of her body, sexualizing herself in between more photos of her young boys, touting her strong strength and independence, me overlooking these nincompoops y'all call men. Listen, milady, you was as dusty as they got. Look at this shit. You were as dusty as they goddamn come. You are ridiculous. Now, what's also interesting about, the original post as well is that, she got a lot of likes, obviously. Look, I even hit her with a little like right there, all right? But she reposted her Cash App and said, if you're that invested and care so much, send me some money for my parenting classes. She's actually going to use this for parenting classes. Let's see who really care or who are just being an internet flunky with apparently no life. If you care to help or simply shut the F up. But the comments here establish so much more faith in humanity. Texting while driving, no seatbelt on, and your son faking drive-bys. We know how he gonna grow up. That's for sure. Raising a baby, YN. Aw, cute. I'm glad every single comment is bad. People still have sense. This whole video is bad. The fact that you haven't taken this video down is insane. Well, she's in love with the attention. So of course she's not going to take it down. Everybody parents differently, but you are 100% parenting wrong. Now, in response to all of the backlash and the controversy, the YN creator uploaded this video with one of her sons in the back seat. Let's listen.
I hopped out so quick, then I raised my blick and I don't miss. I let up 2 shots.
Yeah, copyright. If you don't know who that is King Von, who is alleged to have been a serial killer along with a rapper. And you'll see the young boy back there who has mastered the lyrics to a King Von song, absolutely popping off while she is dancing in the front seat. Still no seatbelts on anybody, and still okay with her son being portrayed like a baby Von. So if you look at the personality and the behavior types that the mother accepts, contrast them to what she finds attractive in the men that she seeks out, displaces that attraction into the son husbands. Then the son husbands begin to display that behavior. You begin to see where the YNs are created. What we watched throughout the entirety of this video is a lack of decency. It's a lack of safety. It's a lack of morals. It's a lack of standards. And my question is that of all of the men and the women that watch this channel, when will there be a concerted effort that parents like this will be castigated as opposed to propped up? Now, I know that there was a lot of controversy at first, but you'll see here, this video was within her circle as it didn't go viral like the first video, and laughing emojis, heart emojis. I love y'all, real authentic. Y'all help me answer that damn question. The fact is that this, popularization of certain types of lyrics or behaviors with everything that is being produced, whether it's sexual content, violent content, as depraved as some of these lyrics really are, and to watch this behavior of a drive-by shooting, a play drive-by shooting, it's absolutely absurd, and it's downright garbage behavior. But what can we expect when the most popular forms of us, that's the imagery that they display, whether or not they actually live the life? But then it's a trickle-down effect, because then it entraps and encapsulates the minds of these young people. They have children, and then the cycle perpetuates. The indoctrination is crazy. The unaccountability is absurd. The fact that she uploaded this shit thinking that it was cute, like there was nothing wrong with it, demonstrates her mentality. But she must understand that parenthood is not content. It is not entertainment. It is duty. And if you are not ready to raise these children with discipline, love, accountability, then you're not ready to be a parent. Because one reckless moment could destroy a child's life. Shit, that son in the first seat doesn't even look like he's old enough to be in the front seat. You hit something. First off, you don't have a seatbelt, but an airbag deploys and it can kill him. And if it does, then that's blood on your hands. It's time to stop glorifying all of this dysfunction and start protecting the youth, protecting the future. And it starts at home. It starts with adults. It starts with us. And until it changes, then long live the YN. All right, guys, leave me your questions, comments, concerns down in the comment box down below. Let's continue to have fantastic, up-to-date conversations on the realities that we all experience around us. And I've been your host today, MTR. I'll see you guys soon. Until next time. Peace.
She belongs to the street.
Girl, don't hold my hand. You a mattress actress on the OnlyFans. Get your money, girl, but damn, how is that your only plan? What you gonna do when you get too old to strip and dance? Get up out your echo chamber. woman screaming, period, and yes, you a low down dirty woman if you try to get knocked up by a high value man.